Hello, my name is Brandon Kellogg, and I will be doing a Nuzlocke of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories as Riku. Now, for those of you that did not get a chance to see my first two Kingdom Hearts Nuzlockes, where I completed Kingdom Hearts 1, as well as Sora's side of Chain of Memories, be sure to check out those videos as well as this one. Now, for this Nuzlocke, the rules will be the same as they were for the last videos, which are also listed in the description. Rule number 1, each Kingdom Hearts game must be played on the hardest possible mode. Number 2, the run officially begins under one of the following conditions. When the prompt appears in that game saying, from this point forward, when your HP reaches 0, it's game over, or if no such prompt appears in that game, then the run begins after completing the tutorial and/or leaving the first world. For this game, the tutorial ends just after Diz hands you a card, meaning the run will begin from that point. Number 3, at any time the main playable character dies and is unable to proceed due to story reasons or other game mechanics, such as being saved by Mickey, the first Sabor fight, Auto Life, or Coliseum tournaments, and so on, the run is automatically over. As an additional challenge, Gummy's ship deaths also count as a game over. Rule number 4, the run is completed upon finishing the main story. For Aqua challenges, the final episode, not the secret episode, must also be completed. And rule number 5, anything that can be nicknamed must be nicknamed. I also play with early save clause, which means that at any point before the run officially begins, if I saved the game, I can continue from that save point on later attempts to skip lengthy and boring cutscenes, such as the unskippable tutorials. As I said previously, the rules are listed in the description. So let's find out if I can complete a Nuzlocke of Riku's story of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I start off by awakening conveniently in a place where I can communicate with Diz, who gives me a Dark Magician card, which conveniently teleports me to Castle Oblivion. He then conveniently leads me to Hollow Bastion, meaning our run has officially begun. I grind up some levels for an extra boost to my attack and HP, and eventually make my way towards Magnificent. I can't heal in this fight, so it's especially important to use the right cards at the right time and rely on the heart of the cards strategic usage of cards to win the fight, which I do handily and head towards the next floor. I elect to go the Monstro first for the same reasons I did for Sora's side, which essentially is facing off against the hardest boss first, so that the HP count is at its lowest. Poison and other forms of damage over time is not good, so we will bust that out immediately. Duels are also extremely busted in Chain of Memories, something that it is not an original feature to the original Game Boy Advance version, so I make quick use of that and avoid a few near misses along the way, and take the semi-easy win. I think Jafar is a bit harder than the guard armor thanks to annoying platforming, so I head to Agrabah next, grind some more levels, and score off against Jafar, who in theory should be able to snap me out of existence with his finger because he is a genie, and only Thanos should be strong enough to even hold his own against him. Strangely though, he decides to get cocky and just swings his arms at me. So I focus on regaining control of his lamp so I can eventually lock him into his portable prison and then toss his house as far away as possible from Saudi Arabia. My venture is rudely interrupted by Vexen, a scientist with too much free time on his hands. I break some cards, attack with a few combos, enter into dark mode. I lead with a Dark Aura, followed by another Dark Fire Uga, and a Mickey Mouse Miracle. 2 more Fire Ugas later, and I used Dark Aura, and then 3 more Dark Fire Ugas, and I take him down. I head to Traverse Town and play Pin the Heartless on the ground with a guard armor, and then take him down. Captain Hook is arguably the easiest of the first 4 boss fights because he is a person and uses a deck with a reload counter, which is easily exploitable, and therefore I have no qualms about giving him the most HP among the bosses between floors B11 and B8. So I make my way to the ship, which is located in the middle of an endless sea, and then fight the endless sea captain ship, sometimes referred to as Hook. I enter into dark mode and blast him with a couple Dark Fire Ugas, a Dark Break sandwiched in between. Oh, and he breaks my darkness and forces me to play on low health, so I throw a Mickey single at the back end of a slate. Following which, a few more hits and I take him down. Now at the back end of B8, I am challenged by the actually real Riku, where I lead off with a Maelstrom, and then enter into dark mode. I cast a Dark Fire Uga and a Dark Aura before he breaks my darkness. I attack a few more times and re-enter into dark form. Mickey stuns him, which opens the door wide open for one last Dark Aura, which obliterates him out of health, winning me the fight. If you are enjoying this video, feel free to like and hit the subscribe button, as it really helps grow the channel, and I would really like to do this kind of stuff full-time and not DoorDash for a living. Now, I won't ask you to share or comment on this video, as that kind of takes more work, and I understand why that may cause some of you to feel more pressure than you might be able to handle. Now, on B7, I immediately go to Wonderland first, because the Trickmaster is arguably the hardest Disney fight in the entire game as Riku. Not so much because the Trickmaster itself is hard, but because the deck you're given is hot garbage. For that reason, we will be going to Wonderland first to minimize the HP he is given, which will help a lot. I do some grinding and begin fighting the Trickmaster. Despite having only 9 cards in the deck, duels can still be performed in this fight, as the minimum number of cards required for a duel is 8. So we will cheese this fight by constantly triggering duels and not using a single slate. I trigger Dark Mode in there somewhere, and finally our Dark Maelstrom wins the fight. I go to Atlantica, as Ursula is far more annoying than Hades or Oogie Boogie. Plus, the deck Riku gets in Halloween is one of only 3 decks in the entire game with access to Dark Aura without needing help from a Martial Waking Room. So picking Atlantica is absolutely the play. I do some grinding and then square off against the Sea Witch that thought growing to only 50 feet tall instead of like, I don't know, 800 feet or something would be enough to take you down, so I exploit that stupidity by slashing her down to shrimp and then sending the rest of her corpse to the Gulf of Alaska, where she will be devoured by the local salmon. Eat fish, Ursula. I go off course a little for my usual route and head to Olympus before Halloween Town because I wanted to grind a little at Halloween Town, and having easier access to Dark Aura makes that a lot more smooth. I grind a little at Olympus and then challenge Hades to a children's card game. Now, if I were to win, then it would be pretty crazy that a child could win at a children's card game. Anyway, upon starting, I trigger a duel and unleash Barrage. I break some more cards and enter Dark Mode, and then I use a Dark Firaga, and then I try to use Mickey, but it gets broken, and then I lost at a children's card game. Unbelievable. I guess attempt 2 is now happening. This attempt doesn't go really much differently than the first. I beat Maleficent, the Parasite Cage, the most powerful being in the universe, Vexen, the Guard Armor in its original colors, and the Endless Sea Captain. I have some back and forths against the actually genuine Riku, but nothing too eventful. I snare the Trickmaster into a Maelstrom, roast the Witch into an Easy Bake Oven, and next thing you know, I'm back to B5. Instead of going to Olympus, though, I remember Oogie Boogie's enemy card gives you Regen, which restores health over time, which should be useful against Hades. So I head to Halloween Town and have a laughable fight against the Boogeyman, and then head to the Colosseum where Doom awaits. After all, children's card games are too hard for the likes of me. A Greek god of the underworld will be stupid just to accept my challenge. Wait. He accepted it? That's interesting. Okay. Well, I guess the least we can do is just give him a challenge before he kills me. Huh. Okay. Well, whether or not he handed me the win, or whether or not I actually earned it, I'm just going to move on to B3 before anything else happens. Next up is a formidable opponent in Lexius, who I consider to be the most unique and mysterious of the original Organization 13. I triggered Dark Mode and lead off with a few slates, including a couple Dark Auras. This fight really wasn't a challenge, and then I finish him off with a Dark Firaga. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be, honestly. I head to the Destiny Islands and then fight... oh, this thing. Can we just skip that? Because... this fight, it just makes the word laughable laugh. Okay, here we go. Another formidable opponent. Zexion. Okay, I can breathe now. I lead off with a few slates before Zexion starts taking my cards. I initiate a Dark Barrage, and a few more slates after. Another Dark Barrage and a Firaga puts him below half HP. He uses his stupid illusion nonsense. I don't really know what this is. It actually kind of really gets on my nerves because it throws you into these, like, I don't really know how to explain it, but it throws you into this other place and you can't really take down his health. It actually is just really, really annoying. But finally, I do get out of it, and I eventually whittle down his HP some more, use another Dark Barrage, and then I deliver the final blow with one last Dark Firaga. I then head to Twilight Town on B2 and do a lot of grinding before a historically tough fight against Riku Replica 2, now powered up since before. Now, instead of narrating this fight, I think I'd like to just let the raw footage tell the story. Died here a couple of times in the past. Hopefully I won't die. Darkness! Come on! I then head to Castle Oblivion and do some massive grinding all the way up to level 55 before fighting Ansem SOD. Again, I'd really like to let the raw footage tell the story.
Come, open your heart. Take this! Why do you refuse the darkness?
This video was going to be rather short, so as a treat I decided to throw in those last two battles raw. They were both really nice and fun, and I really enjoyed playing Riku's story again. Riku is such a great character, and in my opinion, he is the Kingdom Hearts equivalent of Prince Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender. He has such an amazing arc, and it's great that Nomura gave the fans an opportunity to play as him in multiple games. This run was very eventful, and I really enjoyed playing it, and I'm really excited to continue this Nuzlocke series to the very end. Now, for those of you who are following my live stream VODs, I am currently Nuzlocking Kingdom Hearts 2 on critical mode, and I'm already on attempt 4, so hopefully I can push through that to the end. Those streams are on Mondays at 5 p.m. in the Rockies or 7 p.m. in the East Coast, and I really look forward to you joining me for that. But until then, from one Nuzlocker to another, always remember to get up on the Hydra's back.